this blitz. Passes away, penalty flag down. Lamar Thomas has got it. Lamar Thomas is on his way down the sideline. George Teague is after him and runs him down. Takes the ball away from him. Teague's got the ball. And they tackle Teague back at the 12. Game's over. Alabama defeats Miami. Number 2 beats number 1, 34-13.
Blitz on from the 1. And they throw a fade right side of the end zone for Owens. He got both feet in. Touchdown catch over the shoulder. Look at it. Here we go. Oh, they're going to have a big fight. There goes Owens. Puts it down. And he levels it. Here it goes. And now Teague is aimed at by an offensive lineman. Flozell Adams pulls Teague away. And Owens moves to the bench. And he stands in the middle of the star and holds the ball out.
Let me tell you something, Brad. Terrell Owens started it. Emmitt Smith went out to the 50, trumped him. Now Terrell Owens comes back, and George Teague said, you know what, I'm not going to take this. Good for George Teague.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Teague's Take Podcast with George Teague, alongside George, JT, and a bunch of other people. I am IndyCar Tim, and we've got another very special Street Team episode of the show tonight. We did this last week with more people than we have tonight, George, and it went way better than I expected, not just content-wise, but technologically as well, because I did not know how things were going to work out last week. But, man, it was a lot of fun.
You underestimated the power of the Teague household.
I did. Sorry.
We shoot big, man, and we try to get things done right. And all these people on here know about that. Well, most of them know how we roll with the Teagues anyway. Dana's still learning. Andrew already knows, but everybody else knows. So, yeah, this is a great one. Thank you guys for all coming in today. I think this is going to be another great one because you guys all have personality. I think everybody here like to drink too for some reason.
I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
All I drink is water.
Yeah. Me too. That's all I got right here.
I got enough for everybody if y'all are interested. I got my stock right here.
Mine's that dirty Carrollton water.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That fancy ice. See, that's how you know you got a lot of money. You drink that fancy ice.
Oh man.
But anyway, before we get going, I do want to say thank you to all of you. Andrew, you're getting to thank you twice because we didn't get to see Andrew last week. He was on the show. We didn't get to see him. Yeah. So
I told you guys you missed out on this right here.
I wouldn't say we missed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, you had on the Christmas hat last time. You might need to put.
Yeah, but Dana's got us all Trump this week, so.
So I'm saying to you guys, all of you, thank you for everything that you've done for our podcast for this year. You know, when we started 6 months ago, we didn't know what it was going to look like, man. It's really done amazing things. As I started looking at the data, we got people from multiple countries listening. Actually got a big following, Andrew, out in Georgia, believe it or not. Don't know how that happened, but that's okay.
All the Bulldog fans that are tired of losing.
Figure it out. So it's going really, really well. And I know at the beginning stages, particularly with Marcus and Dana, it's been, just getting the feedback on how to really actually make this go. I want to say thank you to you guys for that. And then, of course, Scott and Chris being sponsors of the show in your own unique ways has been tremendous as well. It always adds to it. I hate we hadn't been out at the Maverick bar like normal just to be able to hang out with you guys and do that. But roll tide to everybody and go Cowboys. And
go Cowboys.
Oh, Lordy.
I have go Cowboys in for Dana. So I want to start with Dana. Dana, will you tell us, this is your time right now to kind of tell us, maybe do I hurt you if I don't say doctor?
No, you don't hurt me.
I need to say
I will
Dr.
correct one thing though. It's Dana from
Dana.
Alabama. Yeah, it looks like Dana, but it's Dana.
Oh,
So but
okay.
you could call me doctor if you'd like.
All right. Well, doctor, tell us what you're up to, what you do for a living, and
Oh my gosh. Okay. I do a little bit of everything. As George suggested, I got my doctorate at Alabama, so that's why he's throwing out the doctor thing. But it's like my best friend's mom says, it's not the kind of doctor that helps people. I'm a professor. So I do, but I've done a little bit of everything. I've been in education for 32 years. And so right now my main job is doing instructional design. So I create online courses for universities and for corporations for training. I teach a couple of grad courses every now and then, do a little freelance writing and sit on the couch and coach football and basketball all in the winter from here. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm sure you grade yourself out pretty high on your
Oh, yeah.
grades.
Oh, totally.
Okay. Marcus out in Tennessee, man. What's up, my man? What's up?
All right, guys. Well, first of all, before I start, I want to say what's up to my co-host Lambo, who's joining us in the comments. Also to some of our loyal fans, Mendoza and Jeff. Thank you guys for joining tonight. I'm Marcus Jones coming to you from Memphis, Tennessee. I am the co-host of the Cowboy Zone podcast. We air Wednesday nights at 8:30. We've been on the air for about 9 months now, and we just talk all things Cowboys. We cover all the games. We talk about news and notes. We have special guests. George has been a regular, and we appreciate his support. And we're just trying to do our thing and continue to grow like you guys are.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. You guys do some good stuff where you push us, you make us better too. So if you guys don't listen to the Cowboy Zone, you should because they're really good. They're better at the podcast than they are playing fantasy football.
Look at that room behind Marcus.
Your
Wow.
wife beat me by 3 points, George. I'm still upset about that.
Well, she just beat me by 20 points in the championship. So, you did better than me. And yeah, he is loaded with all his gear back there. So that's pretty cool. He's repping the Cowboys stuff.
My little flag back here looks pretty lonesome and sad back here. What Marcus has behind him, dang it!
I'm gonna fix that in a minute, Tim.
That's right.
Thanks, Chris.
I have my vintage Redskins stuff right back there.
Oh, we got a lot of Redskins stuff.
Rest in peace, Redskins.
Yeah.
Right?
That's offensive. You shouldn't say that.
We're resting at the top of the division.
The Washington football team.
We're resting at the top of the division right now, so I'm all right with that.
She made it to the street team because she
got it till Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
I know.
All right, so good friend of mine that we've known for a long time, who happens to be one of our sponsors, Scott Bolin. Why don't you tell us what you up to, man?
Ooh, working hard, fixing people's houses.
Mm-hmm. Like, what do you do? Give us a specific of how you work on these houses, because I know what you do, but I ain't just going to tell it for you. I need you to tell everybody what you do.
Well, we do everything from decking outside to fencing to inside drywall repairs, painting, flooring, plumbing, electrical. There's really nothing we won't do. Maybe retaining walls. I really don't like doing those.
It sounds like if somebody pays you enough, you do it.
Well, y'all probably would. You're right.
Yeah, right. What's up, Colonel? I see you, Colonel, popping in. That's one of Gordon's friends. How do they find you, Scott? How do they get in contact you if there's people that need anything done out here in the Metroplex?
Sure. You can contact me via email, scott@repair-resource.com. We have a website, www.repair-resource.com. Certainly listen to George's podcast, and you'll actually get my phone number and email off of there as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good. Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Yep. Make sure you guys constantly repeat that on how people can get to you guys. Put it in the comments and stuff. Chris Gordon, we go way back. Family stuff here too, man.
We do.
All of the family. So thank you for jumping on as a sponsor with us too. So why don't you tell us about the Cowboy House and maybe some of the other stuff you guys do as well?
Sure. Well, I apologize for that other half of the family that you play cards with on Thursday. We'll just have to forgive you for that while he's resting on the beach in Cancun today with our buddy Krantz. So shout out to those guys in Cancun. So I guess in 2010, my daughter, Emma Gordon, who was 4 years old at the time, who knows George well because he coached her and was a teacher at Carrollton Christian Academy while she was out there. We went out to watch the Dallas Cowboys Texas Stadium implosion. Got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, got a front row parking spot, and my daughter looks at me with tears in her eyes. She'd only been to 2 games, and she said, "Daddy, why are they tearing down the Cowboys house?" And I explained that Jerry Jones had bigger plans, and the mayor in Arlington wanted the Cowboys more than the mayor in City of Irving did. That's why I named my store the Cowboy House. The real story is that before the implosion, I had the keys to the stadium for 42 days. And from the city of Irving, who owned the stadium, I purchased the entire upper deck and 3/4 of the lower bowl of actual stadium seats, the 80-pound cast iron stadium seats. Also purchased the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-yard line in one of the end zones, concession signs, locker room signs, the cheerleader signs, the telephone booth inside of the cheerleaders. George, you know what Jason's got in his house as a plumber. He got one of those toilets out of the cheerleaders' locker room. You know how he is. I got to go up in Jerry Jones' box suite and took the ice maker and the ceiling fan and just all kinds of fun memorabilia as I outbid Jerry Jones on those seats, as well as Archer Stadium seats in St. Louis and Steiner Sports up in New York. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was just a rabid fan, grew up in the city of Irving. It was that stadium was my first KC in the Sunshine Gang, first motocross, first Billy Graham, graduated from high school, played a little football in that stadium. It was just it was a part of our history. So I just decided I was a medical sales rep at the time. I'm going to start a sports store. So that's what we did. After my wife, she started speaking to me on the 29th day after I won that bid. She wasn't sure what I had just gotten us into, but she's happy now. We've got a brick and mortar store in Lake Dallas, Texas. We've been there for 11 years now. And I've got a second location in Highland Village. Currently, we're the largest sports memorabilia dealer on Amazon.com. We built our own shipping store on the side, just a second suite next to the sports store, so that we're just like a FedEx Kinko's. We accept everything that the community brings in for shipping, packaging. We make keys and print jobs and brochures and posters and business cards, and we also ship through all of the carriers. And during this Christmas, we were 113% higher in Amazon sales than we were last year. So we've just absolutely been slammed. People aren't going out to the malls. They're going online shopping, and they love that Amazon Prime. So they know that they can get the refunds. They don't have to pay shipping. They feel protected. So 5 years ago, Amazon came to me and said, "Hey, we saw you on eBay. We want you to sell your stadium seats and that sort of thing on Amazon. Will you do it?" And I said, "No, heck no. I spent 4 years and hundreds of hours building all of the descriptions and loading all of the content in there." They called me back the next day and said, "Hey, what if we send 2 guys from Amazon down to your store and we do it all for you?" I was like, "Yeah, what time can you be here?" So it's been an interesting ride. It's truly a labor for love. We own the car wash across the street, so we're just a small family business. My mother's a CPA. George, you know Mom and Dad, and Emma, my daughter, she helps us restock and runs the cash register, and my wife manages a shipping store. She quit working for the city of San Diego Tourism Bureau to be an entrepreneur, I guess you could say. Now, George, I know you're going to ask me, what do I have in my store today, right now, for the Alabama fans? So I'm going to give you a rundown real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about some Cowboys fun stuff. So the best thing I've got, George, is your custom-made flags. with Defender of the Star on them. We make our own custom flags. I also have access to making the molds for Replica championship rings. So I've got the George Teague rings. I've actually got the set of all 17 Alabama championship rings in a nice wooden case, something that we're the only one in the U.S. that's selling it right now. I haven't found anybody else with it.
You need to know I get a DM about every week from someone saying that's how good they look. I'll say, do you have your ring? Did you pawn your ring off? Because there's this guy out here trying to sell your ring. No, I got mine.
I tell them all the time that if they want one just like yours, $28,300 with all the diamonds, or they can have one of my high quality CZs for $50. It's up to you. You tell me which one you want, and I'll provide it for you. But we've also got all kinds of autographed jerseys, mini helmets, 8x10s, flats, footballs, you name it. Nick Saban, Bo Scarborough, Kenny King, CJ Mosley, John Copeland, Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, John Hanna, Bear Bryant, Eddie Long, you name it, Jack Sherrill. I've got tons of stuff with Alabama's. I enjoy watching them until my Aggies get into get it back into the game. I thought they were going to get in the game this year, but I didn't wear my maroon jersey. I wore my blue shirt tonight, so I won't go there.
Gig 'em, Brett.
I know it. We're keeping the faith, brother. For the Cowboys, Rangers, Maverick, Stars fans, we've got all of the Dallas sports covered, all of the United States colleges covered. We've really got something for everybody inside of that store and on our Amazon site. The Amazon store is The Cowboy House. You can find our website at www.cowboyhousesports.com. You can find us on Facebook at The Cowboy House. And forgive us, we've got 2 employees. The rest of us are family. And we shipped over 10,000 items in the last 2 weeks. We've been really blessed and really busy, and so glad to have the time off. I had something that came up last Tuesday, and that's why I punted to this week, George. I appreciate the amnesty and letting me jump on tonight.
Yep. Oh, good. And there's one question in there. Jeffrey asked if you got any Amari Cooper merchandise. So
I've got at least 60 autographed jerseys in stock, about 10 mini helmets, a couple of footballs. What are you looking for, brother? Give me a call.
Yeah, here we go. Hit him up. So that's one of Marcus's boys right there, I believe, too.
Yeah.
All right. So
let's do some Amari Cooper Alabama stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I got more Cowboy stuff than I got Alabama stuff, but
just saying, you never know.
So keep this in mind with him. When so I've already, Dana is been in because she loves Alabama everything, right? And I tease her a lot about the Redskins stuff, and I always appreciate her for being a good sport with that. Marcus is just a great dude. He helped me with a lot of stuff, just getting started with this podcast and watching him. And if y'all hadn't watched Cowboy Dave,
Cowboy Dale.
Yeah, Cowboy Dale. Sorry, I always keep calling him Dave. Cowboy Dale. Y'all got to see this. Some of the funniest stuff ever out there. He actually kind of looks like Scott when he puts on that up.
Good looking dude.
We got to find that. He does look like you, as a matter of fact. So make sure we find that. Scott, like I said, has been a good friend, but when he talks about the work, I can talk about his work because he's always doing something for me. And what he didn't say is that he fixes cars and rebuilds stuff. And I don't know if that's part of his business, but I know I take my stuff over there to him to get my brakes changed. And he's fixed me up with a whole lot of stuff, especially on my truck. But he also did my deck out back for me too, that you guys see on my tweets and videos and stuff. He actually did that up for me really nice. And then, of course, I get all my jerseys and other things from the Cowboy House from Chris. We've known each other and done shows together, and it's just a great family to be able to hang out with. And they're very charitable as well, right? Doing a lot of stuff with the Margarita Ball. I don't know that I know we hadn't had that much of that this year, but it's just great to be around good people. So
we still have the margaritas, just not the ball.
Yeah. I want JT and Tim to give us your little pieces. Then let's take a break. Then let's come back and talk about that Washington football team and Dwayne Haskins. So we'll come back, but I want to hear about JT. You go first, and we'll let Tim wrap it up. He can take us to break after that. Okay. So JT, tell us what you up to. What you do.
Well, I'm a software engineer by trade, so I'm not a freelancer. So anybody looking to make an app, sorry, call somebody else. But I am also on another podcast that is PSG Talk that is covering all things PSG, which is a French soccer team who is now just fired their coach. So if you want to hear us kind of complain about firing coaches 6 months before their contract's up and hiring a guy who's been sitting around doing nothing, hey, kind of sounds like the Cowboys, huh? You know, firing a coach early and then picking up a guy who couldn't find a job anywhere else. So that's what I do outside of work. Tim,
what don't I do? I manage a podcast media company, DSP Media. That company as an entity is only about 4 months old. We've got 5 podcasts that I either co-host, produce, or edit. We've got 12 more in the works, and this is one of them, of course. Our pride and joy, Teague's Take, by the way. I also am on, our flagship, which would be the Dallas Cowboys Blitzcast Plus. Teague's Take, yeah. Dallas Cowboys Blitzcast Plus that we record and almost said film. God, I'm showing my age. Broadcast from Stonebriar Country Club in Frisco, Texas. We've got some players, coaches, a bunch of famous people on that. I can't even believe I'm even on it and that I'm involved in all of that, but it's a lot of fun. I'm on a golf podcast that we do for Stonebriar Country Club, just a whole bunch of stuff, but you can check us out. We've got a new website coming out here in the next couple of weeks, DSP Media Online. But you can go over to the drunksportspodcast.com and check out most of the shows over there. But, and I do some writing for cowboyssi.com. And I've actually been approached today from a betting website. They want me to write 3 weekly articles about sports betting that I've never done. I've never had an interest in, that I've never even looked at in my life. But are you going to say no to a job opportunity? Nope. So if we're done with the show, guess what I'm going to start researching?
Google.
Right about it. So that's me. I don't do a whole lot, but there's only 7 days of the week, and trust me, I wish there was a whole lot more. But
you're making me feel small. I gotta get involved, man. I'm here grinding. I'm sitting around doing podcasts on Tuesday night and coaching high school football. But
yeah, I've got 4 nights of podcasts that I do, and then the other days of the week, I'm usually sitting down doing some research for podcast or show prep or writing. So. Plus, I got 5 kids at home, one that's already moved out. So ages 19 down to 10. So I've got a busy household here.
All right. Well,
and then I got somebody that constantly leaves presents for me in my mailbox and doesn't tell me.
Yeah.
Santa Claus every week.
That would be JT.
JT fell asleep. Oh, there he is.
Fall asleep.
But hey, it's another Teague's Take Street Team episode. We're having a lot of fun here. We've got lots more fun coming up. We're going to take a quick break, and I think you want to talk a little bit about the Dwayne Haskins fiasco, if I'm not mistaken. George, is that correct? On the other side?
Yeah. As soon as we come back, we're going straight into it. Don't miss it.
Yeah, this is Teague's Take. We will be right back.
ProfoundSites.com for your personal and commercial needs. Websites built, repaired, secured, maintained, and found. Brent Thomas and ProfoundSites.com provide e-commerce development, website development, online marketing, web, mobile, and e-commerce consulting. With over 10 years experience, Profound Sites is responsible for creating GeorgeTeague.com, where you can hear Teague's Take with George Teague every week. Brent Thomas and Profound Sites can take you through the entire pain-free process of building your new website. From initial discussion to planning, design, to coding, and making your site live and discoverable on the internet. Contact Brent Thomas at ProfoundSites.com or email him at Brent@ProfoundSites.com.
Hey, sports and sports memorabilia fans, this is IndyCar Tim. I want to talk to you about our new friend Chris Gordon over at the Cowboy House, CowboyHouseSports.com on the web. Now, Chris is super passionate about all sports, and that's why the Cowboy House is so much more than just a Dallas Cowboys sports memorabilia store. He's got unique game-used memorabilia and rare, hard-to-find autographs for teams across the globe. Everything from the NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, golf, UFC, soccer, Olympics, even from Hollywood and the political sector. And his store isn't just a fancy mall store. It's more of a man cave that he likes to share with his friends and customers. Come on into the store at 209 South Shady Shores Drive, Suite 200 in Lake Dallas, and you can walk on the Texas Stadium end zone turf. You can sit in a chair from Yankee Stadium or Texas Rangers Globe Life Park. Check out hundreds of autographed jerseys from hundreds of teams. Check out thousands of photos signed with certificates of authenticity. He's also got custom framing for all of your sports memorabilia items. Chris Gordon over at CowboyHouseSports.com, 214-551-5978. Thank you, Cowboy House.
Need a one-stop shop for Cowboys news happening over at the Star in Frisco? Click on over to CowboysSI.com, featuring Mike Fisher with 30 years experience covering America's team. It's the most popular of all Sports Illustrated sites and home to the Cowboys Blitzcast podcast. CowboysSI.com is the place to get inside your Cowboys. With such a talented team of writers and reporters over there, you'll always know the latest about personnel and roster moves, salary cap issues, and draft class status. Click on over to CowboysSI.com and get the inside scoop on America's team.
3R Sports Graphics. Hello, everybody. You've probably seen the graphics that are out on social media every week that announce the guest for Teague's Take for that week, as well as their credentials listed there on the graphic as well. Those come from our good friend Tyler Sanders over at 3R Sports Graphics. Now, he only works for schools, so we need to mention that. Some of his proud schools are Liberty Christian, Parish Episcopal, Legacy Christian, and Fort Worth Christian. These are custom graphics for your school's athletic department. Hire Tyler Sanders and 3R Sports Graphics, and you will work one-on-one with a graphic designer. You will get final score graphics the night of the game, unlimited graphics with a 1-year contract, and you can fulfill the sports information director role of a school, but for a fraction of the cost. And he will handle this for you every week. He puts it out on social media for you as well. He handles that. Give Tyler Sanders a call with 3R Sports Graphics, 713-933-9767, or you can shoot him an email, tsanders2405@gmail.com. Tyler Sanders, 3R Sports Graphics, on Twitter at 3R Sports and the number 1. And check out his Twitter feed. He's got all of the examples. You can scroll through his feed and look at all of the graphics as he's done for everybody. Tyler Sanders, 3R Sports Graphics. Give him a call now. Thank you, Tyler. Hello, everybody, and welcome back into Teague's Take. Thank you from the mysterious audience that's given us all the mysterious applause. We got another Street Team episode, part 2. If you were with us last week, man, we had all of the fun, and this week is not disappointing either. But we've actually got we got into some sports topics last week, George, and it was a lot of fun because everybody's got opinions, and they're never wrong, but they're all interesting. Interesting you brought up the Dwayne Haskins situation. I just today, actually 3:00 in the morning, so I'll say last night, wrote an article about this that will be featured on CowboysSI.com tomorrow about the Dwayne Haskins situation. I also posed the question, will Andy Dalton be starting for Washington football team next season? So check that out over at CowboysSI.com tomorrow. But this is about Dwayne Haskins, the 15th overall pick in the 2019 draft. Of course, Washington football team, as they were known at the time, the Redskins, with Alex Smith with a gruesome leg injury. Didn't know if he was ever going to come back. They had to go get him a quarterback. They took Haskins from Ohio State, 15th overall. And it's been up and down, mainly down ever since. Got to the point, of course, last week the photos came out of him breaking all the COVID protocols at the strip club with no mask and close contact with people. And Ron Rivera had enough, man. He said, you know what? The statement was, it's just best if we part ways. You go your way, we'll go ours, and it's going to be best for everybody. There wasn't a mention of the words. There wasn't this statement from Ron Rivera that said, you know, we really like him. He's going to be fine. He just needs to be somewhere else, not here, like sometimes the teams will do when they're just trying to talk up a guy when they cut him. Man, that was not the case here. It seems like there are some hard feelings and no love lost between Ron Rivera and Dwayne Haskins.
So I'm going to let y'all go first on this because I think there's a whole lot of different dynamics in this, and I'm really curious to hear what this panel has to say about all of it. And you guys don't be shy about this. We want to hear.
I will jump right in.
Let the football team start us off.
That's right. I was on board with Dwayne Haskins at the beginning. I was on board, and I wanted him to be successful. I think he got no favors done for him by the previous coaching staff. I think Jay Gruden threw him into a bad situation. He didn't have any time to get acclimated. I mean, he was just thrown right in there. And I think that bunch, coaching staff, just didn't do him any favors at all. That said, I do think he's been immature. And, I think if there's any place, and I don't follow, all the other teams as closely as I do Washington, of course. I've been a fan since the 70s when I was in elementary school. But if there's anywhere that somebody's going to be successful in the locker room, I think it's going to be at Washington now. I think Ron Rivera's done a really nice job, coming in and trying, he keeps talking culture change. And I've seen a lot of that. And I'll just say, being an Alabama girl, I think having some of those strong personalities in the locker room, like, John Allen, Daron Payne, I think that, and Chase Young has really emerged as quite a leader. I think that a young player like Dwayne had the opportunity to be successful there. Oh my gosh, I sound like Nick Saban. I said opportunity to be successful. But I just think he, people say he's immature and all that. Well, he's 23 and a half. Jalen Hurts is younger than he is, and look at him in Philadelphia. Tua is younger than he is, and he's doing well in Miami. I think, you just got to step up. I feel sorry for the young man, but I think you're probably right, Tim. I think there's probably been some no love lost. But the good thing that's come out of it for me is I'm glad to see that the coach has made it appears the coach has made the decision. It's my understanding that Dwayne Haskins was an owner selection.
You can say his name. You love him. You can say his name.
We all know what it's like to have an owner that's up in everybody's business on the coach.
And not as much as Dan Snyder.
Right.
So,
About that in Dallas.
We wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. So I think that he was Dan Snyder's pick, and the fact that he was able to be put on waivers yesterday.
He went unclaimed, by the way.
It was unclaimed today. Yeah, not claimed yet. I think that for me, it helps me see that Ron Rivera is more calling the shots than the Gruden folks, that coaching staff was before.
Okay. Well, I like that. That's very valuable points there. Well taken. And I see where you're at on that. It sounds like you're kind of glad they made the move, for the betterment of the team.
I just get so frustrated now, y'all. I've been teaching at the university level for 15 years, and I see kids come through that are his age, players, football players, basketball players, and all that, and everything's a choice, and those coaches coach them up, and they know. I think they know what they're supposed to do, and he had already been fined once this year for being out of COVID protocol, and then. That's the second time. And I think you just don't, in this social media era, you just don't have unlimited opportunities to make mistakes.
So since you brought up that coaching point and he hadn't said anything yet, and I appreciate you, Andrew, for going and putting on your Bama gear. I like that. How do you feel about this from a coaching standpoint? Because you coach some college ball, and what do you think about when players, intentionally do things that are breaking the rules? How do you feel about this in Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah, I feel like culture plays a big part in the success of any team, right? And so if you've got that guy that's supposed to be a leader, quarterback's out there and he's out there partying, he's out there breaking protocols. What do you think that says to the rest of the team, these younger guys? And at the same time, I think the older guys should step in and be like, after the first time, say, dude, like, what the heck? You're a quarterback. You're a leader on this team. You're supposed to be the one to be an example of what we're supposed to do. But Dana made a good point. He's 23. He's young. He's got to kind of find his way in everything. And from a coaching standpoint, I feel like you give the guy his opportunity, and then he kind of does what he's not supposed to do. You kind of warn him, and it sounds like he had that warning. And then at some point, you just got to say, look, you're done. You can't sit and babysit these guys. And They're not entitled, even though I think they feel like they are. I feel like that's the generation that a lot of these younger guys come to. And the other thing is that I'm wondering is if Rivera hadn't cut him, and if he hadn't have done what he did, would the NFL have stepped in and done anything about the breaking of the COVID protocol?
They probably would have fined them. Probably might have fined them or something.
So other than a fine, you don't feel like that they would have stepped in and done anything else?
No.
He's not the first one, and they haven't done it to anybody else.
Okay.
Yeah, just because a Cowboy player hadn't been caught yet, you know, if it were a Cowboy player, they get popped.
Right.
You know, I think, Andrew, if he had played well, I think that would have made a difference. And the fact that, you know, my team is real thin at quarterback right now, you know, with Alex Smith with the calf injury, and he has got to become a player of the year. Just putting in my plug right now for that. But we're thin at quarterback, and I think he needed to play well yesterday in order to salvage his job, or Sunday in order to salvage his job, and he just didn't.
Well, people will give you the argument that he hadn't played well. I know Tim will probably hit that a little bit later, but so Scott, because you got a little mixed household, right? Scott's the Cowboys guy. Michelle, his wife, is the I keep wanting to say Redskins. I'm sorry about that. She's the Washington football team gal. So what's going on in the household here? Are y'all fighting about who's right about this one? What's going on? Tell me about it.
You know, my opinion is this is probably the best thing to happen to Dwayne Haskins, because that team does nothing but kill young, good quarterbacks. I mean, RG3, Smith. I mean, the list goes on and on. Way back when, so it's, you know, for his future, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to him. Give him a few years to bounce back, maybe. But as far as the house, yeah, it's we try not to talk about football right now because, you know, we're all one game away from winning a division. So it comes down to next weekend.
One game away from winning the division, one game away from a top 5 draft pick.
Well, maybe we need to come to your house and do our pregame show.
That'd be fun, probably. Give Michelle some headphones.
Go out there. That would be good. Okay. So I want to make sure we get everybody in on this. All right. Before I get my little piece at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Chris.
All right.
Mr. Gold.
So, you know, I'm curious. You're talking about how thin you are, how thin Washington is in quarterbacks. How many starting quarterbacks has Washington had this year?
All of them.
Okay. How many starting quarterbacks has the Cowboys had this year?
More.
There's at least. It's been a rough year, but it comes back to culture, like what Coach said. Culture. There's another young man from Ohio State that we know his rookie year, he had a few problems. He lost his captain's patch for a few games also, and you know, he's matured a little bit. Came back and got one of the fattest running back salaries in the league. But is that just an Ohio State thing?
Interesting. And I can't believe you just called Zeke fat like that on
you know.
But I caught it.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe it's not an Ohio State thing. Chase Young is Ohio State, right? He's doing all right.
That's fair.
I think Chase Young's the exception.
Okay.
So far.
Bring that in. So Marcus, how you feel about this?
Well, I feel like the relationship between the football team and Haskins was doomed from day one. I mean, if you go back to the draft, like Donna said, the coach made the pick. And just from watching the news the past year, we know he doesn't make the best decisions. So that was the first mistake that the football team made. And then you come into this year with the new coaching staff. The coach from Carolina brings in his quarterback, Kyle Allen. Haskins is immediately the third quarterback going into preseason behind Kyle Allen, who's a career backup, and Alex Smith, who was on one leg. So to me, it just felt like they were looking for a reason to get rid of him from day one. And even like Donna said, if you go back to last year, that coaching staff wasn't doing him any favors either. Nobody really wanted him in Washington, it seemed like to me. And I felt like this was their opportunity to make their stance and start from scratch. Because the beauty of what's going on in the NFL now with contracts on rookie deals, you don't really lose a lot of money. So if you go back and think about the Jamarcus Russell and stuff like that, those teams lost $20-30 million by getting rid of quarterbacks early. Haskins is only $4 million for a quarterback.
Jamarcus Russell is the reason there's a rookie cap right now.
Exactly. Him and a couple of other quarterbacks who didn't live up to expectations.
Yeah.
But again, they don't lose a lot of money, so I felt like they were looking for a reason. He gave it to him, and now he's out trying to find a job. And I was really shocked nobody claimed him. I thought for that cheap price, you're basically talking $2 million a year for a guy who was drafted top 20 a year ago. Just seems weird that nobody picked him up.
Plus, you get a fifth-year option, his rookie fifth-year option if you wanted it.
Right. You got 2 more years to groom him in your system. And if he looks well, that third year, you got the fifth-year option, like you said.
All right.
Yeah, but how much of that's coming back on the, maybe the culture issue? Are they willing to take a chance on that anymore?
Well, don't forget, he didn't just suck. He had a maturity problem that he admitted. He also had a problem with preparation. And I think the preparation issue is what scares teams away. Like we can work with his mechanics. We can work with him not understanding defenses and reads. But, man, if you're just not going to prepare for a game, there ain't nothing a team can do about that. And that had to scare teams away.
Well, you look at Jameis Winston, though. He got a job. Pretty much the same type of guy, immature, doesn't really fit in locker rooms. He got a job in New Orleans. Nobody had expectations for him.
Backup.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying Dwayne Haskins is going to be picked up to be a starter, but as a $2 million backup that's 20 years old or whatever, making a cheap amount of money, I'm just shocked. Nobody
isn't that still more than what Jameis makes right now?
It's a lot more than what Jameis makes right now.
Well, there you go. Then you need to find you need to find a Dwayne Haskins that costs as much as Jameis Winston does. But I think if you're going to spend $2 million on him, there are other quarterbacks you can get to sit behind for less money.
So what do you think about it, though? I mean, I'm waiting for some of you guys to hit on a couple things, and you guys hadn't done it yet. And I'm not going to tease you guys. I'm going to talk about it as soon as you get done. But JT, is that all you really got to say about it?
Well, no, I was going to bring up with what we got on the screen here, what Mr. William Coulter Jr. is saying. Yeah, from what I've seen, Snyder was the only one that actually wanted him, and it was because he had some history with him. His son played with him like way back when. Jay Gruden didn't really think that he was a very good quarterback, didn't want him in the building in the first place. And lo and behold, he shows up anyway. So, that's first reason he didn't get any favors done because the coach didn't actually want to draft him, and he was kind of just pushed upon him. I am of the mindset kind of that when you get to the NFL, there should be short leases anyway. Be who you can afford to be. So, if Marvin Harrison, not that he ever would do that, but if Marvin Harrison would have went out and did this, Marvin Harrison would still have a job, but he's not that caliber. When you're not playing well, you're the third guy on the depth chart. You played, you lost your job, you got fined. You played again, you still weren't very good, and you're going out and doing all these extracurricular things. At the end of the day, it's still a business. People are paying you to be available and accountable. And if you show quickly that you are not worth the amount of money that they are paying you, and they can find somebody that they can either pay less or pay about the same and get a little more out of them, whether that's just, as Tim said, being prepared to take a snap, they're going to do that, and they should. That's how this is supposed to work. Sports are supposed to be a meritocracy. You don't get to just show up and go to adult ballets and pretend that everything's fine. when you're not doing what they're actually paying you to do. And I do think it has a little bit of something to do with maybe not Ohio State itself, but the coach that used to be at Ohio State. I think he has a history of letting star players get away with things. So, for instance, I don't think that Zeke got to Dallas and all of a sudden started acting a fool. I think he's been acting a fool the whole time he was at Ohio State. They just didn't say anything. That's how Aaron Hernandez snuck under the radar. That's how Percy Harvin was able to fight a coach and throw a chair at him, and nobody heard about it because he was able to kind of just push Tebow in front of everybody and pretend like nothing was going on at Florida. So then he leaves Florida in shambles. All of these guys, if you can go back and look at Cam Newton was stealing laptops the same time Urban was there, and he just like quietly disappeared to Blinn. And then you got Percy Harvin throwing chairs at people. You got Aaron Hernandez probably killed 2 people while he was there. He actually brought a gun to practice and had it in his practice pants on the field. Nothing happened to him. And then he moves on to Ohio State, and you got Zeke, who shows that he was probably acting a fool up there. You got Dwayne, who knows what Dwayne Haskins was actually doing up there. So that's why I said I think Chase Young's actually the exception here. And he kind of, I feel like Chase Young was only there for like a year. I mean, I know he wasn't there for a year, but I feel like he just kind of showed up one year and then got out as quick as possible. But everybody else, you can go back and be like, well, Zeke had the issues with his girlfriend that we found out about when he was a Cowboy from like 2 years ago. Zach, what's his name? The assistant coach that was there that followed him from Florida that he just
Smith.
Yes, the one that was a serial domestic abuser that he just pretended like wasn't a problem. So I think it's more of a product of just what Urban Meyer let get away. And unfortunately, Dwayne Haskins was one of those people that played under that and didn't have any kind of repercussions. And it just manifests itself at the highest level where money's on the table now for him. And he's got a coach now that doesn't care about that. He's cheap. He's expendable. We didn't want you here anyway. So if you're gonna go out here and pretend like these games don't matter and that you're bigger than the team and you can go do whatever you want to, Ron Rivera is like, whatever. I don't need that. I got 3 other terrible quarterbacks on this roster that I can pay a little bit less and not have these problems.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I do appreciate all of those because I think you guys have all made some fantastic points, and you guys even JT hit a little bit on stuff that made me think about with the what's the guy's name? Booger
McFarland, LSU.
McFarland, yeah.
He lit it all up today on social media and everything else because of the comments he made about
he's an idiot
inserting, I guess, a little bit of race into it, and the position being a black quarterback position. And then what was very interesting to me is that there were a lot of players, former players, that also came back that have different views, and that was one of the tweets I put out. That people have different views on this, our households, our families, and stuff for thinking of this. So when I look at this is a very complex situation. I think we have hit on, the business side of it, the simple pieces of could he play and could he not, who really brought him in and all that kind of stuff. But what I want to come from the angle just a little bit, and I know it's touchy and risky anytime we're talking about race and what does it look like with black quarterbacks and things of that nature. And, for me, could people have taken things out of context with what Mr. McFarland said today? Maybe. Do I think families, black families sit and talk about decisions that we have to make? What you guys are saying about business decisions and things of that nature, absolutely we do. I don't think this is a racial issue or any of that kind of stuff like that. I think they're making the best decision for their organization, and I think they did that. And we do have to remember that. It doesn't matter what position that we play, that we got to remember that when you're working for someone, they're paying you a salary that you have to be upheld to the standards that they set forth for you, whether they wanted you there or not. You do have an opportunity. So some of the things that Booger said were true. We get an opportunity. You get a lot of money. Should we make better decisions? But I think it dives a whole lot deeper than that, because people are raised differently. You don't know. I don't know what his family background is. Was mama strong, daddy strong? What did they talk to him about money? What did they talk to him about decisions? What did they talk? Did his coaches talk to him about being a quarterback of an NFL team? You know, how to be a backup and how to prepare, how to watch film and all that kind of stuff. We don't really know what happened. Dana and a few others talked about his age, his youth. I know that when I was 22 years old, entering the National Football League, I made some dumbass mistakes. Hell, I'm 49 now, and I'm still making dumbass mistakes. So we're anticipating and figuring. There's people that don't want to wear masks, some people that want to wear masks. Yeah, there are rules and all that. But, man, you know, I don't like how I would rather see the Washington football team or someone else. If you don't want someone there, don't wait to try to set that example. Just get rid of their ass. You know, you made a mistake, release them, give the guy another chance sooner than later. Don't let them, you know, just try to fail before you let him go. I don't think that was right. The people that are making the arguments about, you know, are you making the black race look bad and all that kind of stuff. A couple of years ago, we were talking about there were no black quarterbacks in the league. Well, 25% of the quarterbacks now that start are African American. So I don't need to hear any of that kind of, you know, crap or stuff about it. White privilege. Someone brought this into a conversation. Yeah, if it would have been a white guy that didn't put on his mask and he was out partying, he probably would have not got cut and all that. Stop it, man. Stop it. Not saying that white privilege isn't out there, but I don't think this has.
Well, there was one, except the difference is he was actually playing well.
Well, yes. So, but listen, so I'll take it out of the Haskins deal, and we need to talk about, put it in the context of history a little bit, right? Especially when we're talking about the racial piece. Johnny Manziel, nutcase, whatever, all the stuff, however you feel about him, man, he came in, he didn't last very long either, right? So you got one in that case, I can say, hey, that might dispel it. I've played on teams where I've seen privilege, and it's not by race, is what JT just said on how you're playing. I've played on multiple teams where privileges were given to players who were helping them win Super Bowls or making them money, selling jerseys or whatever. I've even had owners tell the team, hey, George, you can't do what he does off the field because he helps us win. He's an excellent football player. He's a Pro Bowler. He does some things, and there are some things that I can forget when he does it. If you do it, I might forget, but I don't know. And if that other guy does it, his ass is out of here on the first thing smoking tomorrow. So it's not fair. It's not equal. It is what it is, right?
That must have been when you played for Green Bay.
Well, you know, I've been around some players who have been given opportunities on multiple teams where they have done terrible, terrible things. Everybody knew about it. All the players, all the staff, and somehow it just gets washed under the rug, and we go on about our business. So, do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't. Do I feel sorry for the Washington football team? Hell no, I don't. You know, but
I agree with you. I think that, you know, if they didn't want him there, they should have let him go earlier. I agree with that. But I think they were just trying to keep a healthy player in their back pocket that, you know, that could come in and play because, you know, nobody had any idea what was going to happen with Alex Smith, you know. So I think they were just kind of hedging their bets a little bit about, what they were going to do.
Okay, so Tim, let's do this.
Now they're wondering what they're going to do again. Alex Smith, he's your guy for the next year or two, but how long term is he going to be? Kyle Allen,
I'm hoping for somebody in free agency.
former Aggie great, by the way, and Cougar. Guy, he's made of glass apparently. And then you got the two young kids that nobody's ever heard of that I can't remember their names, and I freaking wrote an article about them last night.
I actually like Steven Montez from Colorado, though.
There you go. That's one of
them. I really liked him in college.
I like a lot of people in college, but that doesn't translate to the pros all the time. So anyway, that's why I wrote the piece about Andy Dalton going to Washington next year. No inside information. That's just a hypothesis that I have. But, it's interesting because Andy Dalton can groom somebody if they want to draft somebody this year, which, they don't win the division. They're going to have a pretty high pick. We went over this on our Cowboys Blitzcast that we did last night, if they win the division, you're going to pick probably 19th. If you don't, you're probably picking 11th, I think is what we decided. Yeah. So with a quarterback heavy draft, whether you pick 19th or 11th, you're going to have somebody. There's going to be somebody there. And, you want to bring Andy Dalton in to help groom a guy for a couple of years. He's a good one to do it, man. He's seen the highs. He's seen the lows. He's down to earth. He's not one of these superstar guys. He's going to teach somebody. He's going to want to be a starter. He ain't going to be back in Dallas next year. That wasn't the plan all along. He was here for a one.
I'm looking forward to that article that you got.
Look at Andy Dalton going to Washington next year if he wants to, because they're going to let him be the starter. They're going to let him groom. Might be grooming Kyle Allen or one of these other two guys that they've got. You never know, but it makes a lot of sense. But man, they don't have some holes just in their quarterback roster. They got some holes in their quarterback future right now.
I'm predicting not a first-round quarterback as the Washington pick this year. It's got to be O-line because it doesn't matter who's back there throwing the ball. I mean, that offensive line this year has been so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting offensive line first-round draft, not quarterback.
All right. Well, Tim, let's take us to another break. Get some more of these sponsorships in, and I'd like to be able to come back. And of course, we got to talk Bama Notre Dame. But I need to know what you guys think about Dabo going at it one more time, saying the number 3 team in the nation should have been ranked number 11. It shouldn't even be in the playoffs. It's going to be a firestorm in that Notre Dame. That Clemson Ohio State game. That's what I meant. All right, let's go.
We'll be back after this.
Increase time inside your home, noticing all the little things needing attention. Let Repair Resource be your one trusted contractor to tackle all of your home repair needs. They do it all: electrical, plumbing, drywall, painting, and flooring of all types. They can even handle your exterior needs, like fencing, patio covers, concrete pads, and decking. No job too big or small. Repair Resource does it all. Call them at 972-415-1198 or visit them online at www.repair-resource.com.
Hey, this is IndyCar Tim. I want to talk to you about the Maverick Bar and Grill in Carrollton, Texas. It's North Dallas's premier sports bar and grill located at 1616 West Hebron Parkway. It's 16 minutes from just about anywhere in the DFW Metroplex. With all of the live action on dozens of TVs and the big screen, it's the place to hang out and watch the return of sports with all your friends. Friday and Saturday nights, you'll find the best live music in DFW right there at the Maverick Bar. And of course, on Thursday nights at 6 p.m., you'll find Teague's Take broadcasting live with Alabama and Cowboys legend George Teague. Be part of the show. Check out the Maverick Bar and Grill in Carrollton, 972-492-7500, or on the web at themaverickbar.com.
Meat Church. Do you need to take your barbecue and grilling game to the next level? Check out the great line of products from Meat Church Barbecue. From seasoning and rubs to full-blown recipes like pork belly burnt ends, smoked queso, beef ribs to smoked bologna, and Texas-style brisket, Meat Church has what you need. If your barbecue and grilling game is lacking, check out their barbecue classes and events. They'll help you raise your game to impress your friends and family. If you're in the Waxahachie area, please check out their store at 205 West College Street or give them a call at 214-980-1063 or head on over to meatchurch.com for locations near you where all their great products are available. Or order directly from them online at meatchurch.com.
We are back. All the sports talk live on Teague's Take. George Teague, JT, I'm Indy Cartoon. We've got Marcus, Scott, Chris, Dana, and Andrew here with us tonight. Street Team, episode 2, and we're having nothing but fun. We've been discussing Dwayne Haskins over there at Washington football team. That was nothing but fun. George, you brought up the Dabo Sweeney ranking Ohio State number 11 in his poll, in his part of the coaches poll. Yeah. And I actually saw him do an interview, of course, ESPN. It was ESPN or Fox, whoever it was that I was watching, asked him about it. And he said the same thing I've been saying this whole time, that I just don't think that it's fair that you play 6 games and you're in when the rest of us had to play 10 or 11. And he goes, you know what? It's my vote. It's my poll. That's how I feel. That's how I voted. I don't really care what anybody else thinks.
Mr. Scott, what do you think about that, man? That fair?
I think it's 2020. I mean, the whole year's been that way for everything. It's like, what's fair this year? But,
so if you're building me a deck back here and you want to charge me a few $100 and I just come up with, oh man, it's 2020, you can't charge me that. You gonna go with that?
It's not fair. They should definitely have to play as many games as the other teams to qualify. It's definitely not fair. Just the injury aspect of it.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any control over it. They were told, what the rules were with COVID, and you get this amount of games. And I like Ohio State just went out and said, well, I'm only scheduling, 5 games.
You know what? Then Ohio State should be mad at the Big 12 or the Big 10. They should be mad at the Big 10 for starting the season late, for canceling the season to start. And then everybody else is playing, and they're like, oh, maybe we screwed up. Maybe we should go ahead and start a month later than everybody else. They should be mad at the Big 10, not at everybody else.
That's right. Marcus, how you feel about this, bro?
I mean, I agree to an extent. I mean, it takes 6 games to be bowl eligible, I believe, and they only played 6. So there are a bunch of other teams that played a lot more games. But we know it's a business. We know Ohio State has a big name. We know they have a lot of stars. It's going to make for good TV come New Year's Eve, and if they make it to the championship. And on top of that, no offense, Tim, but do we really want to see A&M at number 3? We've seen them play the top teams, and it was not pretty.
That was pretty a couple times.
I mean, do we really want to see Cincinnati at number 3? They play 9 games. Coastal Carolina's undefeated. I mean, we don't have a lot to choose from this year. So I think they're the best of a bad situation due to the circumstances.
Okay. One more before we go into Bama. I want to hear what Chris got to say about this.
Man, I'm an SEC guy. I don't care about the Big 10. Come on.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
A&M number 3. Let's leave it.
I'll ask him for a bit much with that. Yeah. I don't know if I could have got in.
Right.
We've had this debate for I don't know how many weeks now.
Should have been.
JT, you're muted.
You're muted, JT.
Oh, all I'm saying is if you take everybody else's first 6 games, it's still no debate. Ohio State gets in.
Yeah, but everybody else's
first 6 games,
so you can't just
we're terrible. Yeah, well, everybody else played more than 6, and they won more games because they had more chances.
How is that everybody else's fault?
That's all I'm saying is if you want to say, well, we played more games, and so we won more games, if you evaluate them the same way that you evaluate Ohio State at 6 games, everybody else is terrible.
They're saying 5 games.
Played Ohio State at 6 games because everybody else played more. Like I said, they should be mad at the Big 10, not at everybody else for playing 10.
Well, they were mad at the Big 10. That's why they were out there protesting. That's the whole reason the season played.
They can go cry while everybody else plays bowl games.
No, you can go cry while Ohio State's playing in the playoffs.
They are going to get jobbed, by the way.
All the
way to my bank after I bet against them.
Which bowl game is Texas A&M playing in, by the way?
I don't even know because I ain't watching it. It doesn't matter.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
They're playing like East
Fiesta Bowl.
East Tech from Ohio or something. I don't even know.
Well, it don't matter. I like what William Coler.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, that's okay. You did ask me for some tickets to go to the Bama game, though. Said you wanted to get
right? Like I want
Tim doing all this talking about being an A&M fan, but he gonna ask me for some sideline tickets to go down there. I want to.
I won't say no.
Tim is a realist. He's a realist. That's what he is.
Yeah, I got my school, but I'm also a sports fan. Okay,
exactly.
And Tim, by the way, they're playing Carolina in the Orange Bowl on the 2nd.
Of course they are.
Coastal Carolina?
North Carolina.
North
Carolina already lost their bowl game.
You know what? Mac Brown's going to see that. He's going to freak out and have bad flashbacks. Is what's going to happen.
Oh God!
All right, you say that. Watch, they're gonna allow like 50-something points to UNC.
Yeah, but they're going to win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll see.
But it don't matter to you because you're not going to watch it anyway, right?
I'm not watching anyway.
It don't matter. I'm gonna text him though and make sure.
I have ESPN on my phone though, so I'll be there.
Okay, so give me your game predictions. Let's go. Give me some game predictions on this Alabama Notre Dame game, Dana. Don't just be a homer. I mean, tell me what how's this going to look? What we got to do to beat these guys?
Same thing we've been doing all year long.
Show up.
Show up. Najee Harris left, Najee Harris right, and then over the top to Devontae. I mean, I could coach that team. 37-21.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
For Notre Dame or for us?
No, for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
What?
There might be some crazy special teams thing,
That's still only 7.
George, you know we can ban her from the stream. I can do that right now.
What about you, Andrew? Where you at on this? You got enough pretty close.
Yeah, I think that Bama's going to put up close to 50 again. I just don't see Notre Dame's defense stopping them. I mean, Clemson's offense is not as good. I don't think as quite as good as Bama's offense. So I think we're going to put up 50, and we all know Notre Dame's defense isn't nearly what it is. I'm going to say 48-17. I'll give them 17 and some mop-up points maybe.
Okay. A little confidence there. A little confidence. Anybody else want to chime in on that? One more on that.
Notre Dame scores 12.
So the line is 19.5.
The line is what, Tim?
The line is 19.5 with a 65.5 point over under.
Okay, so yeah, that's about right. Notre Dame has 12, and we have like 52.
Alabama will cover and then some, and it's not close.
Notre Dame. When was the last time Notre Dame scored a touchdown in the playoffs?
Joe Montana is not playing quarterback for Notre Dame anymore, although he could probably play better than that dude because he's
so, can Notre Dame slow the game down enough? Can they?
No chance.
2 tight ends, wing back.
They already played with 3.
Yeah, I'm saying, can they slow it down enough? Play 3 yards at a time, 4 yards at a time.
They're a ball control team.
They try to be,
but so can Bama? Because we don't really play teams like that. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Okay, we don't really play teams like that. Most of them are spread 3 wides. Jump into some other packages, but trying to line up when you start adding extra gaps, you coaches know. Put 2 tight ends, you create 2 extra gaps. You got a wing in there. That's 2 more. People got to line up, and you're forcing DBs to tackle, right? In the play action, ain't nobody gonna be running past our DBs. They better not be. I won't be mad.
I hear what you're saying, George, but Alabama, they got some thumpers up front. I think the defense is a lot leaner and they're faster. I don't think the Irish are going to be able to keep up with it, but I do have it 42-21.
They've got what, 2 weeks to prepare, maybe even more than that. The way Notre Dame plays, you might not even have to go out of your base nickel. So sorry, Malachi Moore, you might just not have to play that much because they're going to put 2 tight ends on the field, maybe 3. One of them, they try to use like Kyle Pitts, except he's not that good. He's just 6'7".
All right.
Yeah, he's just huge. But the teams that Alabama has problems with are mobile quarterbacks, which Ian Book is borderline mobile. He's as mobile as Mac Jones is, except he doesn't have the arm of Mac Jones. So he can kind of move around, he can spin around and escape, but he's not going to. He is a bigger run threat than he is a pass threat, but he's not super athletic. Hey, who said that? Notre Dame.
Who is that?
Who's that? Is that Tim?
Only one person pushing the buttons over there. That would be Tim.
No, they don't really have a run game outside of Ian Book. So if you can shut down Ian Book from running the ball, he's going to have to just throw it up to big tight ends, and he's not that accurate of a quarterback.
Oh,
this is why
we're going to have problems because of the running quarterback. And
look, didn't Clemson just hold him to 10 points?
Yep.
What is it?
Wrong. Like, I don't understand why there's a question here.
Okay. I mean, I just want to know because
the only reason they scored 40-something points against Clemson the first time is because Clemson had 6 starters out. That's why.
So are you saying the ratings are going to drop by halftime? That everyone's going to turn the channel and start drinking and getting ready for the next game at halftime? That's what I'm hearing y'all say. Either way, I'm going to have a good time. I plan on going to the game. I will be there. I'll be rooting on the boys. Sorry, y'all. I got 2 tickets. Only 2, Tim and JT, and me and Consuelo are taking those, and we're headed to the game on Friday. Right after we celebrate.
Your priorities are. I see.
Man,
I see you are.
Yeah, no, I'll be there.
You're not one of the 2 most important people in your life.
I'll tweet at you when we get there. All right, so last thing before we get ready to do it, let's talk about this. What's up with Dabo, man? Is he creating stuff? Is this people overblowing this again? I know he kind of hit on it a little bit.
They hate each other. They hate each other. This is the best rivalry ever. I love it.
But is that good for the? All right. So the question I'll pose to you guys: is it good? He knew, and he's confessed that he knew he was going to make headlines. He was going to create a stir. Is that good for the head coach of a program like that to poke the bear on these teams, and really maybe put I don't know if we can call them inferior because we don't know. They ain't played enough. But does that create more problems for his players than he thinks it does, Mark?
I think he's very confident in his team and in their ability, and I don't think he is concerned or worried at all. He doesn't consider this bulletin board material. He's placing a vote in his coach's poll, and he's being honest.
I agree 100% with Tim. He's giving his honest opinion. He's showing we're big brother, your little brother. I'll say what I want. Don't even care about whatever ramifications there may be because there aren't any, because we're just better than you. Plain and simple.
I think it's big brother, little sister.
Now, see, from a coaching standpoint, though, I just don't ever want to give my opponent any motivation to play harder, to try to beat me. And I definitely don't want to give the other coaching staff motivation to get their guys motivated. And so whether he's putting his opinion in or not, he's entitled to it. It's it is what it is. I don't ever want to disrespect an opponent, because if that comes from the head coach's mouth, it's easy to trickle down to the locker room. Oh, coach thinks we got this in the bag. And, maybe I don't have to tackle as hard, or maybe I don't have to cover as tight, or, whatever. So I don't ever want to give my players a reason to let up, and I don't ever want to give the other team any kind of motivation.
So Andrew, question.
Yes.
If he truly felt that they were number 11, would you want him to put them at 3?
No. It's not about where he put them. I personally don't think he should have come out and said it. I don't think that needs to be said. It's his vote. Nobody asked who he voted for.
No one leaked that though, right?
It's public information.
Public information.
Public.
He can say that
It's on USA Today.
It's public because he needs to defend it. I just don't think he needs to defend it, especially, if it's public, then the other coach, Ryan Day, can go, hey, this guy's got us at 11. He thinks we're weak. He thinks that. Let him use that as motivation. Don't let the coach's own words come back and say, as motivation. That's just from a coaching standpoint, and George, you might have a different take on that because you're a coach too. And but that's just my opinion.
I'm not putting nothing in writing to give nobody any more advantage. They already don't want to lose to George Teague. They don't want to lose to John Paul, and I'm not giving them anything extra either. And I'm sorry, I'm going back to this. I missed Mario Morris's score up there. For y'all don't know Mario Morris, he is an athletic director at Notre Dame. I'm assuming that he's got Notre Dame winning 36-33, but I don't know. Maybe he'll clarify that.
Mario, do you have a Twitter? Can you tweet this so I can put it on Freezing Cold Takes when the game's over? I'm gonna need names on both sides to see who's scoring what.
I'll ask him to text me. So Mario played. He was my roommate at Alabama. He was a linebacker for Alabama. He's done a great job. He's been an athletic director at Wisconsin. And now it was yeah, look at he's laughing. So I don't know. Maybe he can send you guys a couple tickets down. Get y'all put y'all on Notre Dame side or something. But anyway, so what do you say about this, Dana, with the Dabo deal? Oh, Alabama boy.
He's totally trolling Ohio State. I really do. I think that. I mean, you can't, even if they've only played a handful of games, you cannot tell me that they are worse or that they're, worse than Coastal Carolina. I mean, it's kind of like picking the Heisman, I guess. Is it body of work? Is it, what is it? I mean, it's all subjective, but no, I think that you can't logically look at it and say, they were the 11th best team in the country.
Well, his reason was because they'd only played 6 games, and you really don't have a full body of work. That was his
deal. You didn't play the full schedule.
Yeah.
So you're out of the top 10. Regardless, you don't get to be in the top 10 if you're not listed. But Scott, what do you think about it?
More respect for Dabo Swinney than I have right now.
You got what?
I've never had more respect for Dabo Swinney than I have right now.
Okay.
I agree with Tim. I thought it was hilarious.
That was great. We need more of that in college sport.
Yeah. All of them talking crap about each other.
Yes.
Well, why y'all hate Jim Harbaugh then? Why y'all hate on Harbaugh? Harbaugh just say crazy stuff all the time.
Because he's just stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
An idiot.
So I don't get it. I don't get it.
See, Harbaugh says stupid stuff all the time. It's sort of just the effect wears out. He's just dumb. Swinney says it. It's just really funny. I mean, because he doesn't do it all the time. So that's the difference.
All right. So one more question about this, and this was specifically for JT. Yeah, and I don't know much about Notre Dame's offense, but you know why I'm about to ask a question anyway.
Uh-oh.
How many times does the running back be uncovered? Figure out how many times the running back Notre Dame will be wide open.
Let me ask a clarifying question first. Are you asking me how many times we just let him go and there's nobody there, or how many times are we have somebody that's there but he's not actually there?
How many times are we beat? How many times are we beat with a running back out of the backfield? Give me an over or under though. Something is this.
Does the ball have to be completed, or is it just we're looking and we see that the running back is open?
Yes, it might overthrow him, it might something, but we're like, hey, we ain't covered.
Over, under, I'll put the line at 5.5. I'm taking the over. Look, Dylan Moses, as much as I like him, has lost a ton of money this year. He has not played well all year, and it's almost his job exclusively to cover the running back. And for whatever reason, he didn't want to do it, or if he does, just like I think it might have been the last game, he just grabbing, just holding people.
Oh, he has some penalties. He was I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I say he's gonna have it. No, he came back from ACL mid, like in the summer. So I mean, he's hurt, but I mean, he's not on the injured list now.
Okay, and maybe I shouldn't even say running backs, because now if they're going to have that many people on tight ends, if they're trying to get us matched up with linebackers on tight ends, it could be bad.
I don't know. Find Dylan Moses he's gonna have at least 2 holding calls, or somebody's just gonna run right past him. I'm putting the over under at 5.5.
5.5. Okay, y'all. I'd be interested to hear from the fans on that one right there, especially during the show. And we need, during the game, I would like to account on how many times y'all see on TV that running back is or tight end is running past.
I agree 100%.
That he's going to be. You going higher than 5.5?
Yeah. Moses looks lost often. It's embarrassing.
Yes, I don't know what happened to him. He was a first-round draft pick last year or 2 years ago before the ACL. He came back this year and he has played himself maybe into like late day 3. Or day 2. Sorry.
You think he's fourth?
Third.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
I think he slips to the 3rd round.
Okay. Well, that's good stuff, fellas. So why don't we just, as we get ready to come to the close here, I want to make sure everyone get another opportunity to tell everybody where they can find you at, what we can, how people can look at you, search you up. Marcus, you first. Tell everybody again about your podcast and all the stuff you got going on.
Okay, well, I saw William Coulter come in, one of our loyal listeners, so thank you for joining tonight as well. I co-host a podcast called The Cowboy Zone, where we talk about Cowboys news and notes. We air Wednesday nights at 8:30 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube at Bluff City Cowboys. Be sure to go find me, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Bluff Cowboys. This is our last show of the regular season. And like George mentioned before, we have a super fan called Cowboy Dale who will be giving his prediction because it's rivalry week. So if you guys want to see Cowboy Dale and see all the antics that he has, make sure you check us out tomorrow night. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, make sure you tweet me or something with that link.
I will.
And I'll make sure I reply back. Scott, real quick, you got to give us a little bit more. We don't need the full deal, but you got to give us a little bit more about replay.
If you're in the North Texas area and you need something done on your house, whether it be inside, outside, electrical, plumbing, or repairs of any kind, give me a call or give me an email, scott@repair-resource.com. We'll get it done for you.
Do I have to email you? I got a couple of TVs I need to get mounted over here. Do I got to go through that process, or can I just call you up? Hey,
you can just text me, call me.
I think my toaster's broken.
Toaster? They're too cheap. Just throw it in the trash.
That's easy enough. Andrew, tell us one more time. I didn't include you on the introduction because you were on last time, but go ahead and tell us where you're at and where you're coaching at.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm at Emmanuel College in Northeast Georgia, and love volleyball, but I love sports in general. You got any young athletes looking to, play at the collegiate level? Send them our way. We've got 23 collegiate sports, and actually, George, I need to get your information on how to get you some of my information for your to pass on to your volleyball coach. You asked me that last week, and I told you I'd follow up on that. So I'll shoot you an email after this is over and get that from you. And in exchange, though, where's my Teagues Take T-shirt?
I will get that to you. Yes.
I
do owe you. I owe a bunch of y'all's these shirts, so I'll get those to you. There's only 3 of them out here, maybe 5. Okay. So
our website is goeclions.com, and I coach both men's and women's volleyball there. Should be an interesting season too, because we got COVIDed. So we got
I just got COVIDed.
Our women's season got COVIDed, so now we have our women's and men's season at the same time, and there's 2 of us. So it should be pretty interesting. You might not see much of me on Tuesday nights. That's a lot of our matches are Tuesdays. So, but
Understood. All right. So Chris, just give us your website again, how people can get a hold of you and come get some of that good Cowboy and Alabama gear.
All right, you got it, man. I appreciate it. I mean, if they don't know it yet, I probably have more George Teague stuff than anybody else in the Dallas area that's selling to the public. Would you say so?
Yes.
I
And
mean,
don't all the stuff that you got on hold for me. You know, I didn't have that.
I still got a box of jerseys for you. We're ready for you. Chris Gordon, come see us at the Cowboy House Sports Memorabilia Store. We're located in Lake Dallas, Texas. We've got a second location in Highland Village, Texas. Find us on Amazon at The Cowboy House. Find us on Facebook at Cowboy House Sports. If you guys are familiar with the Wrecking Ball helmet that you see on the big screen at all the Cowboys games, Greg Wilson, he's a buddy of mine. He was on Shark Tank. He has the Wrecking Ball helmets. Part of his agreement with Shark Tank was that he had to have a fulfillment center. So we are the official fulfillment center, and we store all of those Wrecking Ball helmets at my warehouse. I need to move them. You guys come buy some of them. Let me know if you need a Wrecking Ball helmet. And then George touched briefly on the game use stuff that we've got. I've got 75 plus pairs of DeMarcus Ware game use shoes. I kind of liked that, man. He had some big shoes. I've got over 100 pairs of game use pants. I've got 75 plus pairs of salute to service gloves and the crucial catch gloves. I like to have the rare weird stuff. You're not going to find this over in the mall, but let me know what you're looking for and I'll find it for you if I don't already have it. Brandy Chastain called. She wants her bra back from that soccer game.
I want that bra, Chris. Go give me that bra.
I found it in London, bought it for $2,000, sold it for $4,000.
I was going to give you like $20. That's
Tell me what you're looking for. No, it was game used, man.
Right.
I appreciate it, George. We have fun.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you guys, when I'm always giving away these mini helmets and jerseys and pictures, I'm getting all this stuff from the gracious donation in his sponsorship package for those items. So we do appreciate it. I know our fans appreciate it every time that we send those out. Scott Gage, who just came in and asked for the T-shirt, asked where he can get one at. He was the recipient of the Alabama helmet last week from you. So thank you, Chris.
You bet. You giving away anything tonight?
No.
You gonna give away? Why not? I've got this Roger Staubach ring with me right now. Let's see if I can get that on the camera.
I'll take it.
There you go. How are we gonna give that? How are we gonna give it away? I'll ship it to somebody.
So
my address is
all right. So let's see. We can make it with someone in here really quick while we wait for this. For all of you that are still listening, I'll make it real easy. The first person to go ahead and make a comment on here on I'm going to say 3 teams that I played for. Prominent ones. Put that in there right now. You're going to win this ring. It's so easy. This is the easiest giveaway that you're ever going to have. You said you want it. I need 3 teams. I see 1 by Tim. That doesn't work. I need the 3 teams that I played for.
There he is, right there.
Marcus D. Jones. Okay.
How you do? You got a second monitor up or something?
Yeah. George, I don't have to get it. I was just joking around. You can pick somebody else.
No, someone's put Alabama, Dallas, and Green Bay.
All right, well.
Maybe I should put it. All right, William Coulter. So yes, so that is going to be our winner. Put that up there. Please, is he on Twitter or somewhere that I can DM him?
William Coulter's on Facebook. He's one of my fans. I can get in touch with him anytime.
Okay, so you get that information from him. Get it to me. And
I actually have his address because he won something on my show too.
Okay.
There you go.
So Chris, will it be fine if Marcus emails it to me and I email it to you and you just get it out and let us know?
Absolutely. Or William, just hit me up on Facebook tonight.
Yeah.
Make it real easy.
Cowboy House on Facebook, right?
You got it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Last one, Dana. Tell us one more time, Doc.
Well, I don't have anything really cool like a podcast or anything, but I will live tweet any college basketball, college football, or NFL game. You can find me on Twitter at Dana4Bama. That's Dana with a number 4, Bama. And just hit me up on there.
Okay, cool.
Lots
Hey, listen, come over here real quick.
Me?
No, I'm asking Consuela to come here.
I mean, I'm looking at you.
Miss Consuela.
So
There she is.
here, can you say something?
Congratulations on beating your husband, which I called, by the way. I called it.
So I just want to give her about a minute. I want 1 minute, and this will be the end. Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Because I know JT told me about talking crossways to this mic. I paid attention, JT. So I wanted her to be able to give her take. So this is Teague's take. And when we say Teague's take, we talk about all family members. And I want her to talk about the Dwayne Haskins thing. Just your opinion on this. And when she finishes up, then we'll go ahead and close out. So tell us how you feel, just in general.
Well, I think, first of all, I don't agree with what he did. But the second thing is the guy is 22 years old. And we all have opinions, and we all have a certain way of how we feel, whether he was right, wrong, or indifferent. However, we have not walked in his shoes. So we have no idea as to what his financial status has been all of his life. And then he gets to the point where he's now a quarterback, starting quarterback, and he has money. And sometimes we tend to lose sight of who we are. And, and it's no different. I was saying to George earlier, it's no different than that kid, that guy in school, all through grade school, junior high school. He never attracted attention for females ever. And then all of a sudden, he is buff and looking good. And now the women are attracted to him. He's going to lose himself again. He's going to go crazy again. It's called growing. Yes, he made a very bad mistake. I do not condone what he did, but at the same time, I don't think that we can put labels on the whole situation. I don't think that people can go on one side and say, hey, look what he's doing to the Black race, or hey, he should be given a second chance. I mean, we have to all know that we all have, what's that thing you used to tell JT all the time that was hanging up?
Choices, decisions, and consequences.
Yeah, choices, decisions, and consequences. And I mean, he had a choice. He made a decision, and his consequence is that he's no longer on the team. But the bottom line is, it is a business first. And there are situations where you're on a team and you are not their moneymaker on that team. So you are expendable. And that's what he was. End of story.
Bam. Sounds like, Scott, do you want to say it or I'm going to say it? You have just been teed. Yes, sir. We got to get that on the screen because you've been teed.
Here we go.
I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, a nice, happy new year if I don't get a chance to talk to you before then. But it's about time for us to wrap it up.
We want to thank everybody for tuning into this and everybody that's been a part of this one, especially our very, very special guests, Marcus, Scott, Chris, Dana, and Andrew. This whole street team, I call it an experiment because when George first approached me with it, I was just like, you want to do what? You want to have how many people on at the same time? You want to... And I didn't get it, but man, it's the last 2 weeks have been probably my two favorite shows, aside from Tony Casillas. Yeah, Coleman was on that show with us too. That was a lot of fun. Plus, it was in person. But anyway, yeah, this has been a lot of fun, George. I'm glad you took the time to do this and recognize all these fine folks and let them be a part of this because it's. This is all about George and the family and the people that have helped him be successful and help get this podcast off the ground. I'm just a humble host, man. I don't hardly do anything. I pop on when he tells me to, and I just try to say the right things. Sometimes I try to say the dumb things to get a laugh, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I still appreciate him letting me be a part of this and meeting all you fine folks. And it's, like I said, the last 2 weeks have been something special, and we need to do this again, George, for sure. This has been a lot of fun, and anytime we've got a hole in and I can't imagine there's ever a hole in the schedule the way you schedule guests, but we need to make sure we make time, maybe around the holidays. We make this a regular holiday thing when people are out and about. So, but again, we want to thank everybody that's made this possible. Our special sponsors, Meat Church, ProfoundSites.com, Tyler over at 3R Sports, Cowboys SI, the Cowboy House, the Maverick Bar Repair Resource. All you guys, Andrew, thanks for popping on. Dana, Chris, I will definitely see you because I want that Staubach ring or one just like it. Scott, I'll be promoting you out on Twitter on my account for sure. Marcus, I can't wait to tune in to you guys, and then maybe we can cross promote a little bit and be on each other's show and do some collaboration there. That'd be a lot of fun. But until next week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube. God, my voice just cracked. YouTube, Twitter /Periscope, or if you are out there listening to the downloaded podcast on whatever podcast platform you prefer, we appreciate you very much. Please subscribe. Please leave us a good review over there at Apple and Spotify. The better review you leave, it just makes the podcast a little bit more accessible for people who maybe don't know about it yet. And of course, we want everybody to know about Teague's Take and everything that he does. We appreciate George. Everybody, it's been fun. We will see you next week.
Oh, nice job, everybody.
Roll Tide.
Okay, we'll see y'all.
Thank you, sir.
That was fun.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody. Happy New Year.
So much fun. Thank you.
Cheers.
Be safe.